Hi guys. Alright, I want to do a video on animals and emotions. Because I told you that animals don't have emotions, and they don't. They don't have them like humans think of emotions. Because humans have emotions because they're in amnesia. So it was a built-in, kind of meant to be a fail-safe system to kind of tell you where you are vibrationally, because you don't remember how to read vibrations. Most of you don't remember where you came from or anything. Okay, so the emotions are meant to, if you're feeling good emotions, you're going in the right direction. You're going up in vibrational, back to home, back to source, back to wherever you came from. And then if you feel bad emotions, then that's a signal that you're going away from where you came from. And it's that, really, it's that simple. Animals, on the other hand, do remember where they came from. A lot of them live in the now moment at all times, so they don't need emotions to guide them as to whether they're going up or down or sideways. Okay? Now, especially animals who are living with humans will look like they're having emotions. But to an animal, what you see as an emotional response is simply talking to one another. So, where you would say that they were happy, then what they're doing is they're saying, I'm happy to see you. When you see a dog look mad or mean, it is a dog saying, get back, get away, I don't want you around me. Can you see the difference? It looks like an emotional response to you because you can't interpret their communication. But what they're really doing is simply communicating in the moment. An example of this is, say you've got two dogs, just meet for the first time. Nobody's got them on leashes, and they go at each other, and they row, 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 they bite, they snarl, they look like they're going to tear each other up, and then you separate them, and you ease them back into it where they get to know each other, and next thing you know, they're off playing. Okay? Now, in a human would bite and scream and holler and be all negative, and then they would remember that emotional response, and they would hold it against that other being, that other human, forever. They would say, okay, clearly I don't like you, I'm never going to like you, and I'm going to remember it forever. Dog doesn't do that. That's not what they're doing. They are simply communicating that, hey, you're too close, I don't know you, get back. Then they'll come together, get to know each other, and go, okay, I'm good, and then they're playing. Children will do the same thing. So, now, they do have a spike of fear. Animals and plants that are being eaten by humans, they will have a spike of fear right before they are being killed. Okay? It is a very quick emotional response, but it's not emotions like you think of it, but it is a lowering of vibrations, and it does affect the meat of the animal or the produce of the plant. So you need to keep away from what I will call a fear response, because that's the closest thing that I can relate to it, but it is a very sudden thing. It is not like years of holding it against someone. Plants and animals are very much in the now. They very much flow with whatever's going on. Very zen-like is how they are. So when I say they don't have emotions, they don't. But they will have a lowering of vibration and a raising of vibration in a moment, but it's more a vibratory communication skill. It isn't built for them to be able to communicate with themselves. They know where they're from. They don't have that kind of amnesia. Okay, does that clarify that? So even though they can look like they're super happy to see you, that is them saying, I'm happy to see you. But it's not an emotion like humans have that guides humans through their life and have them collect data that usually tends to be many times detrimental. It is very much a communication skill rather than a guidance system like it is in humans. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully. All right. I don't really have a word for the two of those. I know that they will look very much the same to a human, but I assure you from a animal or plant standpoint, they are very different. And as you're learning to read vibrations, it's this kind of detail, intricate differences, that you will be learning how to differentiate as you get better and better at reading vibrations. Because there's a big difference between being an empath and being able to be telepathic. There's also a big difference between being telepathic, very limited telepathic, and be able to read all vibrations at all times, which is what you will be able to do in 5D and beyond. You will be able to read them all at once, all the time. And like someone who gets really, really good at trigonometry or calculus, and they can do it very quickly, whereas somebody who's never studied it before, they struggle and it looks overwhelming. When you learn how to do it, it'll be very much like that. It'll be very, you will do it without even thinking about it. Like you drive a car, but when you originally learned to drive a car, seemed very overwhelming with all the things you have to do at once. But now most of us do a car without even thinking about it, right? And yeah, so hopefully that clarified it. Just think plants and animals, what looks like emotions, is really a communication that they're using most of the time to communicate with humans, because humans can't understand it. Most plants and animals communicate quite well with each other, and the struggle is with communicating with humans. So they will use humans' emotions to try to talk to humans, to say, I love you, I'm glad you're home, I'm scared of you, you're scaring me right now. So they'll use those kind of responses with each other. It's very much a communication skill, and it's also a communication skill with you. So if you'll try to look at it that they're not being emotional, that they're trying to talk to you and try to talk back to them using emotions, then open yourself up. Then you'll get a lot more than just, I'm happy to see you, happy that you're home, and I'm afraid of you. You'll be able to read much, much more into that communication and be able to start to communicate with plants and animals much more efficiently. It's a lot easier to communicate with plants and animals because there's no deception with them. So you don't have to sort through many layers of masking, which you do with humans, in order to get to the truth. So children, another group that's much easier to start to read vibrationally because there's less deception. Okay? Alright, that's it for me. We are going into the weekend, and as y'all know, uploading my videos takes much longer on the weekend because, as my friend said, there's a lot more traffic on the highway. Yeah, whatever that means. But anyway, it's much harder, it takes a lot longer. So I'll start this, and we'll see what we can get up this weekend. Oh, by the way, I did do an interview with G-Man, with Gary. I really enjoyed it a lot. He's a really nice guy. I like his vibrations a lot. I think I'll be doing more interviews with him because he's very good at asking questions, and you know how I love to answer questions. So everybody go over to his site, G-Man, capital IV, like Roman numeral 4. So it's G-Man IV, and check him out. He's really, really cool guy. Need to support him, and he's definitely one of us people. Okay? Alright, guys. Oh, also, he's going to do an interview with Rich Lopp. So, glad to see Rich. You support him too, guys. He's going to start doing videos more, and he's got a lot more that he knows that he just doesn't remember yet. And I've told him the more he talks about it, the more he'll remember. So, he's actually got a lot of information that he can share. And he has had an addiction to alcohol, so he should be able to help anybody in the group who's got an addictive problem much better than I can, since I'm really curious and interested in the addiction vibration, but I haven't really figured it out yet. But he has. He's been there, done that, so he's definitely the guy to talk to. So go over and support his sides as well. All right? Okay, guys. Huge hugs, and I'll talk to you soon. I love you so much. Bye now.